Yeah, as they say, better late than never. But maybe in the idea of this show, yeah. Welcome to In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell, and as you might have known, I actually do live on a golf course, and that is a dangerous proposition, especially when I just got hit by my first golf ball. So there is a drunken corporate tournament that is going on at this home course, and it's bad. It is absolutely bad. 4 golf balls so far in my backyard. One hit me. Almost hit Boone. I'd rather it hit me than my dog, but damn. Nobody's learned the word for, apparently. Which, if we understand what that means in golf, that is a military term. It's not FOUR, it's FORE. It's short for war before. It was a military term to get the front lines to drop down to their knees so the secondary lines can shoot above them. They would yell war before. So what that essentially means is that for get the hell down. Get down. But no, they didn't care. They're drunk. I literally at 9 this morning, 9:15 is when they were out in front of my house doing shots. It's absolutely absurd. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't want to live on a golf course, Rhonda. I did not. In my the circumstances of life brought me to the only thing available within 3 miles of my children. So that was it. Yeah. Wait, sorry, I didn't see your house there. As Chris said, we didn't see you. Yeah. Yeah. Look, you hit me. That's fine. You owe me a beer. Buy me a beer. Cool. You hit me. You hit my dog. There will be a new hazard on the course, a hole with you in it. Hi, everybody. If you dodge a wrench, you dodge a golf ball. My ass. Whew, it comes out of nowhere. Like, you out there just playing ladder ball or something, playing cornhole or barbecuing or whatever. You're just like, I know. You hear the clink of one of those big, like, frying pan drivers, and you're like, I'm about to get hit. Like, every time. Do not recommend. I would say 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5 stars. Do not recommend. It's nice at night when they're watering the golf course and it's really nice, and you're like, okay, this is cool. And now I just got a text alert. This is the day, right? There's emergency responders at my son's high school. Holy cow! On campus in response to a health situation. Okay, of an individual student. Parents and students involved have been informed. The campus. Jeez. I hate it. The kids that schools today do mock shooting drills. Literally, that's like before you get on the beach, you have to do a mock shark bite drill. And the odds are there. That's where the odds are. Mm-hmm. It's golfing at Ken McDonald in Tempe. These people behind us hit into us 3 times. Third time I turned around, hit the golf ball right back at him, nailed their cart. My man. Bro, been there. 100% been there. After several drinks, I've been there, but yes, I have definitely been there. Mm-hmm. That always lies on the ground, face down, pretending. I've tried that twice. I'm not kidding. I've tried it twice. Didn't care. They drove right by like nothing happened. Didn't even look over. And these asshats did the same thing. And all I did was because I yelled because it hurt. It didn't feel good. And they're probably 40 yards away. They heard me. I was like, how about yell 4? I mean, just give us a heads up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How about an Ion tournament? I like that. Can we all just get involved in the barbecue mission tournament that's coming up next month? I'm gonna have Jeff on to talk about that. It is it's the place where I used to volunteer before we moved our time to this time, where we the big pit smokers out there in Phoenix and in the West Valley, we feed the homeless. And so they're doing their first tournament out here at the Palm Valley Golf Course, which I live on. So if you guys want to get involved in that, we'd love to have you there, and we just love to play and have a good time. So yeah, we can do an Ion tournament. We can help Barbecue Mission while we're doing it. And of course, when you pass my house, you know damn well there's going to be a cooler in the backyard. You know damn well it's going to be a cooler with some good stuff in the backyard. Yeah. Awesome, Grizz. I appreciate that. Yes. Please provide info. 100% will. I'm going to have him on hopefully next week, and we'll get all the information. Let's see here. There's an Ion tournament. I'll drink. Let me try. No one hits it with. I think in my foursome, I have a semi-pro. So because we're playing best ball, so I was like, we're just going to hit off his ball. I don't, hell, if I need to do anything, not at all. Hit Mike for free beer. Oh, hell yeah. Hit Mike for free beer. I'll tell you exactly where my house is. Good guys, just open the cooler. You'll see it as you drive by. Yeah. Okay. Brennan's in. All right, let's go. Here we go. Let's bring some peeps. And Chris, I appreciate you volunteering to volunteer. All right. You don't even have to get voluntold. Holy hell. Let's get to it. One of the funniest videos I've ever seen in political history is going to end the program. But as usual, I need to, before I was getting smacked in the back with a golf ball, I want to talk about this chick because this is unbelievable what I've read. Here we go. Phoenix School Board president, the president of El Presidenta of the Phoenix School Board, post bail for her friend that was arrested in child sexting. She took a pedophile, the president of the board. I'm not even going to pull this up. There she is, and there he is. The president of the Phoenix School Board post bail for her friend that was busted for diddling little kids. The school board meeting happened. She didn't show up. Not kidding. Concerned parents warned church that said no pedo, no bueno. I like that. Well done there. With a recall petition, the Phoenix Elementary School Board President Jessica Bueno, see what they said? No pedo, no bueno. No pedo, no bueno. I love it. Bailed out convicted sex offender Randall Denton, her former business partner, by listing her house as collateral. She put her house up so a pedo can be back on the streets. President of the Elementary School Board District. Love this. Founder of Xanadu Coffee, but it took a minute to come up with that one, was arrested in 2024, sex trafficking scheme. He's sentenced to a year in prison for attempting sex trafficking of a minor and trying to meet a 14-year-old who he thought was real. At the first board meeting since the news broke, Bueno did not show up. Her name came up nearly 50 times with parents demanding her resignation, wearing no pedo, no bueno shirts, and circulating let's see here. Circulating a recall petition. Parent Jennifer Pauly called Bueno a coward for skipping the meeting. Are you sure? Claiming that she knew a backlash was coming. Bueno told New Times that she was helping a friend and hadn't considered the political consequences. Y'all, again, Democrats are never going to win another election unless they cheat. Period. I helped out a friend by refinancing my house, this, according to this Miss Bueno for the elementary school district. I helped out a friend by refinancing my house to get a pedophile out of jail. And I didn't consider the what consequences? The what consequences? The political consequences. These people are sick. The political consequences? You mean the actual consequences? You mean the life consequences? The consequences of being the head of a school district and you're bailing out pedophiles? Politically, this is really bad. Politically, this looks terrible. Yeah. Yeah. I hope she's done. I mean, the recall is going to go through for sure. 100% the recall is going to go through. Wow, man. Send the dude to Idaho. It's funny that there's a tough law there for a state called Idaho. Okay, no, maybe not coming with me then. Okay. Let's get to this. I want to talk about tariffs real quick because the tariffs are working, period. Sorry. China put 125% tariffs on us starting at midnight tonight, and their currency is just dropping through the floor. It's over. They're screwing themselves. And here's the deal, though. When it comes to these tariffs, and I mean this sincerely, when it comes to the tariffs, I'm a fan of what's being done right now. So is Warren Buffett. So is Peter Navarro. And if Warren Buffett and Peter Navarro, by the way, I've had on the show several times. Peter Navarro has a PhD in economics from Harvard. The dude's a genius. So if he's okay, I'm okay. But there was one risk in dealing with a country like China. China needs us, so it's okay. It will be fine. But China doesn't give a rat's ass about their people. Xi Jinping and the CCP do not care about their citizenry. They're communist dictator POSs. They don't care about the the dollar. I mean, their currency drops. Everyone goes into poverty. Who cares? Who cares? They never have cared. That's like saying that Kim Jong-un is going to care about his people. Like Trudeau cared about his people. They're all a bunch of asshats. So that is a concern of mine. Like, okay, we're playing a hardball game, but we're playing a hardball game with someone who doesn't really care. That's the tough part. Yeah. No, James, I agree that China's in the corner now, but China don't care. You see what I mean? Their leadership doesn't care. Chinese people are in a corner right now, and that sucks. Because Chinese people are some of the most beautiful, amazing people on the planet. Hardworking, kind, courteous, generous people on the planet. Their leaders are just asses. Completely. Idaho was a made-up name. I don't doubt that. Don't doubt that one little bit. Mm-hmm. But here's the cool thing about the tariffs. I have said this to so many people in the last 9 years. If you all are surprised by Donald Trump and what he's doing, you weren't paying attention. Donald Trump is the ideal person to play pool with or to play horse with. Because remember, you always got to call your shot. You always have to call your shot. Donald John Trump, you can love him, you can hate him. Donald John Trump has said the same crap for decades. And when he ran, he said, this is exactly what I'm going to do. When he gets elected, everyone starts clutching their pearls. No way he did that. I can't believe he did that. Donald John Trump has been talking about tariffs since 1988. And of course, we have the receipts. Here is him as a guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible.
Isn't that nice when people would dress up to go to a talk show like that? Isn't that sweet? Yeah. Yeah, now it's Jerry. Yeah, apparently people cracking each other's heads open.
They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And, hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you think of this year's presidential race, the way it's shaping up?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think that probably George Bush has an advantage in terms of the election. I think that probably people would say that he's got like that little edge in terms of the incumbency, et cetera, et cetera.
But
I think Jesse Jackson's done himself very proud. I think Michael Dukakis has done one hell of a job. And George Bush has done a hell of a job. You know, they all went in there sort of as semi-underdogs, including George Bush, and they've all come out. I think people that are around all three of those candidates can be very proud of the jobs they've done.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life.
And that's it. Like, the guy has never changed. You check his cadence of his speech, everything. Everything's the same. Nothing has changed on Donald Trump. For anyone in this country that is shocked by Donald Trump in any way, shape, fashion, or form has not been paying attention. Literally. You have not been paying attention. Oh, I think it's fantastic to see that guy has not changed his core beliefs at all in any way. Although he did compliment Michael Dukakis. Maybe that was before the whole tank video. Yeah. I'd say to that, no tanks. Yeah. No 3 times, James. We're not doing that. He did run 3 times, but he's not new. No. He will talk about that. He will discuss that. And all he's doing is trolling. That's it. Yes. Now he repeats what he says a bunch. He's done that all the time. This is the greatest ever. Maybe the greatest ever. Probably the greatest ever of all time. Okay. Quite frankly, I'm the greatest, but I'm not going to say I'm the greatest, but I'll leave that for everyone else to say. Okay. Tariffs work. Sorry. 70 nations have shown up and said, we're really sorry, dude. We really didn't think you were going to do that. All of the other previous presidents said they were going to do it, and they didn't. And holy crap, you did. Okay, so we're willing to negotiate. And the reason why that's amazing is because, again, I've always said this. You always do what you always done. You always get what you always got. Right? And if we do what every other president has already done, we're going to get the same crap. I talked to intern Beans today, and I was talking about the $36 trillion in debt because, yes, that's what fathers and daughters should be talking about. $36 trillion in debt. And I told her, I said, do you understand that 36 trillion hours ago, the earth was being formed? 4.1 billion years ago. That's how 4.1 billion years is how long 36 trillion hours is. I mean, if you look at that, it's absurd. Absolutely absurd. James, you do have to love his sense of humor. Oh, holy hell yeah. Geez. Hold on. What is this? All right. I'm going to play a hecky home party board game with Trump. Just want to see him go on in something like Candyland or Uno. I swear to you. Could you imagine? I mean, so Hokey, I got you. I could only imagine. Like, oh my God, Monopoly? Boardwalk is mine. You're so screwed. Okay, quite frankly, you can just stop playing the game now. You're so screwed, okay? Yeah. Just drop the greatest reverse card ever seen. Okay? Oh, God dang. I got Beans Uno No Holds Barred or something like that, or No Mercy. We haven't played that. I bet that's just chock full of that crap. That's for sure. Speaking of Trump, let's get to it. This is I promised you this a couple of days ago. But I want you guys to see it now. It's super cool. It is John Rich, a Big and Rich, big Trump fan. Trump's a big fan of his. Apparently, he's the reason Donald Trump stopped talking about the COVID vaccine in the election. He is probably, and I would give him about 10% of the culpability pie of Trump being the president right now, just because of this story. So check this out. Hold on, wait a second. No. When he's playing Jenga and the tower falls, he goes, W. What? No, too soon? No, not too soon. Okay, just check. All right, let's see if we got that. Should have never been built. This Jenga tower sucks. I know I left you hanging, but here we go, buddy.
And everybody's eating their food, and President Trump is not president at this time, and he's talking to the senators. He's talking about really important stuff, and I'm just minding my own business going, I don't know how I got in this room. Well, okay. I'm sitting elbow to elbow with him. It's about an hour into dinner. I hadn't said a word, just been listening. And Trump gets through eating, and you've seen him do this move right here. Yeah. Wherever in the big boardroom he does this. Okay, that's what he does. He goes, can I ask you a question, John?
By the way, mute your damn mics. Sorry, professional point of privilege here. Y'all mute your damn mics. Just stop breathing into the mic and laughing and stop. It's terrible. Anyway, go
Rich, he never calls me John. John Rich. I look at him, I go, yes, sir. What's the question? He goes, well, you do a lot of big shows. Like, you're an entertainer. Yes, sir. you play for really big crowds? I go, I do. I play for really big crowds for a long time. He goes, well, have you seen these rallies I'm doing? Like it's 30, 40,000 people. I said, yeah, it's unbelievable. He goes, so here's the question. Why are people booing me at my rallies when I bring up the vaccine?
Here we go.
This is the question from the President of the United States. A guy who is very proud at that moment of the fact that he was able to stomp the gas pedal and get that thing out because he's under the impression this is going to fix the problem.
Operation Warp Speed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay,
Professor.
so here's a guy who, to his own admission, one of the biggest egos on the earth.
Yeah.
And he's very proud of this. And I respect him there is no limit.
Right.
But I'm being asked a very direct question. And so, man, I looked at him and I said, okay, I'm going to tell you the answer and you're not going to like it. He goes, okay, what's the answer? You're going to look at me like this?
Give it to me,
I
big.
said, let me start off by saying
Big
this. We, the American people, do not trust the people that you were forced to trust at the time when this was happening. Let's start there. And I said, by the people we don't trust, here's who I mean. The FDA, the CDC, the NIH, the WHO, Fauci, and all the rest of them. I said, Mr. President, we
all.
consider them to be a bunch of murderous, depopulationist psychopaths.
Amen, brother. Preach.
And his reaction was,
That's a good way to start.
His eyes are, he goes, unbelievable.
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 Unbelievable. I
Stunned.
can't believe someone would talk to me like that.
No, he is stunned that I said that. I said, now, let me tell you why they're booing you. I said, because all of them, including me, I said, I would boo you. I would boo you.
you really say that?
I would boo you.
Really?
If you brought that up, and here's why. And he's looking at me, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the last time this guy's going to invite me to anything.
Yeah.
He's never going to call me again. I'm throwing massive
James,
shade
this gets so much better,
on a
buddy. Watch.
former president's,
Yeah.
in his mind, one of his biggest
He's
accomplishments.
going to kneecap Lindsey Graham.
And it dawned on me, nobody had told the man what I was telling him right now, because they all work for him. They all got something to gain from him.
Yes.
They're not going to
Preach.
tell him this because they're not serving him well. I don't work for him. And I think a lot of him, and I want him to understand the truth about it. So I said, here's the problem. Here's why they're booing you, Mr. President, because every human being out in that rally, either themselves or they know someone directly who has been harmed by the vaccine or has even died from it, including me. I said, I got members of my own family who were forced to take it against their will to keep their jobs, and now they've got all kinds of problems. Big problems, heart problems, lung problems. And he's looking at me, and he looks around the table and he goes, this is unbelievable. I mean, he goes, has anyone else heard this? Herschel Walker.
Herschel, my man.
He was running for Senate at the time. He goes, Mr. President, I mean, down in Georgia, my constituents come up at my rallies, and what John just said, man, I hear
he
it
got your
every
back.
single day. Looks over at Marcia. Marcia's sitting there going, you know, looks around the table, and then Lindsey Graham,
Punk
who's sitting
ass.
across. So you're here,
Ass hat.
or I'm here. I'm sorry, but you're Lindsey Graham. You're Lindsey Graham, and you're
How awesome is it to these guys? That is an insult. You're Lindsey Graham. You're Lindsey Graham. Everybody freaking knows about Lindsey Graham, dear Lord.
as I'm
That guy's
going into
distracted.
the part where I said, even in my own family, I have Lindsey Graham busts in with it swishing his Chardonnay around
Chardonnay.
and said, Mr. President, if you listen to conspiracy theorists like John Rich, the Democrats are going to take credit for what you did, and they're going to beat you in the next election with it.
Holy hell.
oh,
And so I'm looking at
John.
Trump.
Don't hurt
and
him,
He's
John.
sitting over there, and he does that, and I looked at him and I said,
Give him-
do not interrupt me when I'm speaking. Do you understand me?
what?
And he looked at me and he goes,
And Trump's like, this is the greatest dinner ever. It's fantastic. It's the best political dinner I've ever had. Okay. Quite frankly, I think better than any state correspondence dinner.
well, I didn't mean to disrespect you. I go, yeah, but you did.
Oh,
So
And do one of those. Do one of those.
Right now, you look like Wyatt Earp. And it's
Very intimidating.
Trump is right here. You're Lindsey Graham.
Speaking of he's Lindsey Graham, you guys catching me on that one? Everybody's coming with me on that one? Yeah. Ooh, you're looking like Wyatt Earp right now. You're so dirty, hairy.
Okay, I'm holding him.
good. Yeah.
You're Lindsey Graham.
I look back up, at the president. I look at him one more time. I go, now let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then
Boy.
I finished it. Okay.
that.
Trump ended that by saying, so I guess no more vaccine talk. I said, I think that's a good idea. I said, I think you're going to learn a lot about it. But yes, I think that's a good idea because that's the only thing that would make us ever boo you, Mr.
Yeah, because
President.
you're right. I mean,
Truth. Oh, shut up with the whole "you're right" crap. The biggest part of that is that it reminds me of, and Rhonda, if you're still on, you're gonna know this. Is Donald Trump said, "I believe that is the first time a man dare insult me." Right? It's very Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride. Like, wait a second, did somebody in this room literally just tell me that I'm doing something wrong? Did somebody just, and that's why he keeps saying unbelievable. Like Donald Trump's like the Prince Don was like, wait, did somebody just say that is something wrong? And I also love the kneecapping Lindsey Graham because Lindsey Graham is personally responsible from a guy like me that's anti-war. That guy has more blood on his hands than I think anyone in Congress right now. I truly believe that. Lindsey Graham is disgusting. When he talks about further funding Afghanistan and said it will be worth our blood and treasure. That's a quote from Lindsey Graham sitting next to Barack Hussein Obama. I could hope all the families line up and have a chat with him. Yeah. What did you just say to me? Such a fantastic movie. Okay. By the way, I'm watching right now. Apparently Queen Bee was watching the Jerry Springer documentary. Said it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If you guys know Jerry Springer, Jerry Springer was the mayor of Philadelphia. He was a mayor. He's a politician. And he got caught up in paying a prostitute with a personal check. So smart man. We are our blood and treasure. Amen, brother. 100%, bud. But she's watching that documentary. I am watching. I'm watching the Ashley Madison documentary. Do y'all know what Ashley Madison is? Guys, don't answer that. Men, please do not answer. You know what Ashley Madison? Oh, Mayor Cincinnati. I apologize. I thought it was Philly. It was Cincy. Maybe I always thought it was Philly, and somebody told me it was Cincy. Then I always thought it was Cincy, but I thought somebody told me it was Philadelphia. Yeah. Anyway, is there any other way to pay people of the evening? I go with Chris Rock, the great Oracle Chris Rock. He said, you want to get rid of crime? Shut down ATMs at midnight. He said, there's nothing positive that anyone could be doing at 2 a.m. that they need $200 cash for. Period. Ashley Madison, just so you guys know, Ashley Madison was a website that was insanely popular. I think 15 million users. It was their tagline was "Life is short, have an affair." It was basically a Tinder for married people, specifically, that you go on the profile and you set up a profile and you find a married woman or a woman to find a married man, and they just go do the no pants dance, and then it was over. That was their hook. Whether you think that that's something or it's not, the guy was a phenomenon, globally, absolutely amazing success. Because for men, women were free. For men, you had to buy credits to contact to reach out to someone. Okay. So, and it was couples finding unicorns, whole nine. It was just absolutely crazy. And I learned unicorns from the thing, so just settle down. And there was a hacker that came on. A hacker, they said, we are going to expose your entire list. Names, real names, addresses, kinks, the freaky sex stuff they're into, because you put all of that stuff in there on your profile. Everyone got outed. Everyone. And that's the last I saw of it. I got like, I think 1 episode to go. But holy crap. I remember reporting on that back. I mean, you don't know how far this was ago, guys. I was on KTAR at the time. Bruce Pamela and I were talking about it. And this is what Ashley Madison was a thing. And I mean, I knew people that had Ashley Madison accounts. And I'm like, y'all are screwed. Because this is all getting outed. There were influencers that were on there. There were politicians that were on there. Heads of state were on there. And yeah, so I'm going to see the downfall of that. It was right before their IPO and everything. Like, they just showed up one day. And here's the deal about the hackers. The hackers weren't asking for money. The hackers were literally just, this was all about purity. They said, you just need to shut down. If you shut down, everything's good. Shut it down. They didn't. They called their bluff, and it wasn't a bluff. Literally, they thought they had the one guy, and they brought like $150,000 in cash to the guy at like some diner. He's like, no, thanks. Shut it down. Yeah. Wow. You wish Bondi would do that, buddy. I'm having a really hard time with Pam. Like, don't Ice Barbie, our head of Homeland Security, and Bondi getting on there talking about, today I opened the files. I exposed the files of RFK. Who cares? MLK files are now really, I don't care. I want perp walks. I want bleeping perp walks. That's it. And the hacktivists, buddy, I mean, that's what they were. It was nothing. It wasn't even I'm trying to be a hacker. And they actually brought in, like, what would say, they claim on this documentary, he's like the top 5 hackers in the world. And the guy was just like, it's crazy to us. I mean, dude didn't want any money. He was just like, nah, I'm good. Grez, I'm saying, buddy, all of them need to do something or shut up. Okay, go. Oh, you arrested an MS-13 member. Good, you're doing your job. That's it. Don't get me hyped about doing your job. Yeah, very underwhelmed, Truman. I'm with you on that. Yeah, handcuffs and perp walks are overdue. Amen. Y'all, we're all singing the same tune. That's for show. But let's wrap up the week with 4 very funny things. Let's what we got? We got time. Let's make it happen. All right. I'm sorry I was late. I was getting hit by a golf ball. Cash out there claiming proof of Pelosi being behind J6. And yeah. Shut up until you can show me something. I don't want to hear your opening an investigation. Who gives a rat's ass? I don't care. Show me. When you have it in your little hand, show me. I love Cash. Cash is fantastic. Pam's fantastic. But y'all, what they have done is taken the Biden administration's most diverse cabinet ever. This is the first person that was born with 11 toes to have this position. And that was all they were about. They've taken that stupidity and turned it into photo opportunities and social media posts about, look, we have done our job. And look, we are threatening to do our job. And would you just wait? We're going to be doing our job. Oh, bunch of crap. I know it's a different show, pal. I was talking about Ashley Madison. I mean, I'm sure that was part of it. I'm going to wrap up with the funniest video you guys seen. If you guys are Animaniacs fans, if you guys ever saw Animaniacs, maybe the funniest damn thing I've seen in a hot minute. Mark Cuban. Stephen A. Smith said he wants to run for president. He's looking for a running mate, and he's basically asking Mark Cuban.
Any Democratic candidate out there?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you run? When you have the heart, the intelligence to make a difference, and obviously deep pockets.
Because I think I can really change healthcare and fix healthcare, and I'd rather be on that mission. And when I'm 90,
then why were you trying to be the Secretary of the Treasury, you jackass? Why were you running with Kamala to be the Secretary of Commerce or the head of the Fed? Why? What do you can hit? This guy is the biggest joke and is becoming the biggest joke ever.
5 years old, and I'm on my deathbed, and I'm thinking about life. I'd rather think about those minutes I spent with my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And the time I was able to spend with them at this age.
Yeah, sorry, I can't run for president, guys. I would totally win, but I'm going to go spend time with my kids. Yeah. Intern Beans, intern Nudes, you can just kick rocks, okay? You're going to be the first children. Daddy's going to go run for president. Holy, spend time with my kid. Then run like Trump then and have your kids part of your whole world. Ass. Yes, they did live in the Warner Brothers Tower, and the theme song, Oh, Buddy, Wait. You ever think Jacko was teaching you all of the nations? Wait till Donald Trump does it. It's going to happen at the end of the show. Better earworm coming up at the end of the show, I promise. Anyone that was attached to Kamala Harris in her campaign is toast. They're just done. Credibility is gone. There is no way the Democrats can use any of them. And even Barack Obama. Barack Obama's, his pull, his clout, anything is done. And if they want to keep using them, great. And just same with Mark Cuban and all these other asshats. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you saw it. It's the best. Actually, it's not the best. I will say this. Animaniacs was probably the top 5 cartoons in history. Of course, Archer is up there. You've got to have Archer up there. But listen, hear me out. Hear me out. You guys have to hear me out. It's a kid's show. The best kids cartoon ever is Phineas and Ferb. Period. And I love Animaniacs. I love all that stuff. And I grew up with G.I. Joe and Thundercats and all that. Hell yeah. And Archer was a lacrosse player. The Archers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Flying Archers or whatever was the name when he was stuck on the island. Anyway. Phineas and Ferb, seriously. Season 5 comes out on June 5th. I will not be here on June 5th. I will be watching that end to end. I love that show so much. It's so damn funny. And Animaniacs did kick ass. That's mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going here. Mom, Phineas and Ferb doing a little sequence. Mom, Phineas and Ferb doing a title sequence. Oh. And Archer's number 1. Sorry, Archer will be number 1 forever, ever. No better. I think South Park is up there as well. Family Guy is definitely in there. Simpsons for longevity, but yeah, Futurama was solid. Futurama was good. Bender, of course, I think was everyone's favorite of that show. Yeah. I just love, I love the writing of Archer. I just love all how it's been. Ren and Stimpy. What's Stinky? Yeah. Ren and Stimpy are fantastic. I did see a funny thing. Speaking of Animaniacs, because Pinky and the Brain, right? So if you don't know, Pinky and the Brain were 2 lab mice, and Brain obviously was a mastermind evil genius, and Pinky was just, let's say he was very special. He took the short mouse bus to school. And at the end, they would always say, Pinky would always ask Brain, what are we going to do tomorrow? Brain would always answer the same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. I saw a meme that said, are Pinky and Brain trying to still take over the world? Because at this point, I'm willing to hear them out. Oh. Great at after parties. Oh my God. I actually saw the first episode of South Park I saw was after the Elway won the Super Bowl. And my buddies just put South Park on. The South Park was on just after the Super Bowl when we were all trashed. I had a backwards 7 on my job. I was all fired up. I didn't even like the Broncos, but my buddy's a Bronco fan, so I was like, oh, why the hell not? Yeah, going to take over the world. I'll say we're getting back to that. We'll get to that in just a minute. But let's get to a day without the ladies of the View is a day without sunshine.
Well, but these are not boys. These are grown.
Oh, by the way, it's Elon Musk and cabinet members having battles. Yes, that grown-ass men do fight. Boys will be boys. We will. And something that a lot of, and I'm sorry, ladies, a lot of things that women will not understand. Men can fight and we can battle. We can go to fists. We can throw hands. And 15 minutes later, be drinking a beer together and be totally right. Boys will be boys. That's good with us. Yeah.
Men. So I'm not sure that boys will be boys is going to fly. But
look at that.
You know, what the hell do I know? Well,
yeah, she's in her, look at her little quasi-villain outfit she's got going on here. Joy
First of all, in order to kiss his ass, you have to get Mike Johnson out of the way.
Did she say Mike Johnson?
Number 2, what is his exact plan is what I want to know. I was home. I had a cold yesterday, so I was home watching everything. And I'm thinking, he's trying to destroy the country. Now, why is he doing that? Just as a person in the audience, like watching.
Donald Trump is trying to destroy the country, according to Joy Behar. Destroy the country.
This. So there's a couple of theories.
Yes, and
like first of all, if he tanks the entire what do you call
economy,
it? The stock market. Then all his billionaire friends can swoop in and buy everything low. That's not an original idea. That's Hakeem Jeffries said that. And the other thing, and in fact today on Truth.
By the way, if the stock market did tank as one of the results of the tariffs, that would push all of the investors into treasuries, which would allow us to take our $36 trillion in debt and refinance it at zero. It was a win-win.
Social. Trump wrote, a great time to buy.
Great time to buy.
The other theory is from James Carville, which I think is interesting, that he wants to stoke such instability and chaos to consolidate power for himself so that people start to really go nuts, which we're starting to.
No, we're not.
Well, people are starting to get mad.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You want them to get mad.
But how mad will people get, and how broke will people get, and how many jobs will be lost? And then he can say, well,
150,000 more jobs created last month than expected. But okay,
too much chaos, and now we're going to have martial law in this country, and he becomes a dictator.
Martial law. That's what's it. Martial law and dictatorship. That's it. Again. Keep going, Joy. Joy, stay on there. Whoopi, I hope that show is wildly successful. The more you speak, the more the Republicans will hold on to power, period. The more the Democrats don't have a snowball's chance in hell. That's a really bad word. Snowball's chance in hell to retain, to gain power again. Keep saying that. He wants chaos so he can instill martial law. You are an asshat. Sorry. Okay, we'll get to stats later. I gotta wrap up this show with this. We talked about the greatest cartoons of all time, one of which are the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dog of Animaniacs. And if you saw the Animaniacs version of the World History show that they had, what was that called? You guys remember what that was called? That was fantastic. But the kids learned all of the countries, the kids meaning us. The kids learn all the countries from Jacko's happy song about all of the countries in the world. Somebody said this, guys. Somebody put this together. And I'm going to end this entire week with this because I think it is beautiful. Because I love the Animaniacs and I love creativity. You're welcome.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Donald Trump.
Here we go.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobacco, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam.
Get it, Don.
Norway, and Sweden, and Iceland, and Finland, and Germany, now in one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey, and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran, there, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, then Borneo, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana, Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi. The Spanish Sahara is gone. Nigeria, Chad, Liberia, Egypt, Benin, and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algeria, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Majorca, and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Great Mauritania, Pennsylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
Yes! Oh, God. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. Thank you so much for a fun week. I'm glad we got to wrap it up with some Donald Trump playing Jacko from the Animaniacs. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Is Jacko or Yakko? I think it was Jacko. Got bologna in his slacks. Yeah. They didn't say bologna in his slacks. You guys can look it up. That's actually a lyric. All right, you guys are the best. I'm going to go watch because it's 190 degrees outside. Probably watch binge watch some Archer. That's what I'm going to do. See y'all on Monday. You guys are great. Thanks for hanging out. This is In Other News. Have a great rest of your day.